felt really nervous as I walked down the hallway of my new school for wealthy students. I could feel people turning around to look at me and whispering, "Oh my god, I've never seen a goddess like her in my entire life. She looks like someone on the cover of a fashion magazine." Wait, someone thought I looked like a goddess? I was really getting the royal treatment on my first day. I had girls asking me to sit with them at lunch, and boys were dropping by to introduce themselves and bring me food. These people wouldn't look at me the same way if they ever found out about my parents. Just then, a nasty-looking girl walked over to my table and leaned on it, her face inches away from mine. "I don't know who you are or where you've dropped down from, but you better not cross me. I'm the campus queen, and I rule the school." Just then, one of the boys pushed her aside. "Shut up, girl. I've forgotten your name already. All hail the new campus queen!" When I got home that day, I quickly changed into my work clothes and rushed downstairs to meet my adoptive parents. "How's your new school?" "Oh, it's so cool and fun. Everybody really seems to like me and..." "Okay, that's great. Go to the kitchen quickly now and help the cook." I walked into the kitchen to find it in complete chaos, and the cook was relaxing on her feet up on a stool. "Why is the kitchen so dirty? And you haven't even started cooking."
"Don't take that tone with me, Missy. Just 'cause you're going to some fancy school, I need to rest my feet. Now chop chop!"
To everyone outside this mansion, I was the only daughter of two loving parents, but I was actually their maid's daughter. A couple of years ago, Mom remarried and just left me. The rich couple she worked for, Mr. and Mrs. Richard, decided to keep me, and I worked for them so I could go to a good school. Later that evening, as the cook and I were walking back home from the grocery store, someone suddenly bumped into me, and everything went flying everywhere.
"Gosh, Emily, are you blind?" "Sorry, sir. The child's an idiot."
The man just glared at me and walked away. As I picked up the stuff, I couldn't help thinking I had to do well at the school and get a college scholarship, so I never had to work under her again. The first week at school was going amazingly well. My popularity was on the rise, and honestly, it was all really new to me. I was doing well in my lessons, and all the teachers really seemed to like me too. That is, until the day our real science teacher, Mr. Howard, returned from sick leave. The minute he walked into the classroom, I recognized him as the guy I'd bumped into.
"Today, we'll be talking about something I detest. Viruses. I mean, you kids are annoying enough, but I hate it when you're sick and come to school with noses full of snot."
Wow, what an unpleasant guy.
Now, something a lot of people don't know is that the same virus that causes the flu can also infect computers. So if you don't want your computers to crash, stay away from them when you have the cold.
Wait, what? That was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard.
Yes?
I'm sorry, but that's not possible, sir. I've never given my laptop the flu. As a few kids started to laugh, he looked really mad.
Why? Have you never fallen sick? Are you Superman?
No.
If you're Superman, why don't you show everyone how you can fly around? Go ahead.
But I'm not Superman, and I can't fly.
Well, then shut up.
Just then, the principal walked into the classroom glaring at the teacher.
"Mr. Howard, you cannot talk to Emily like that. We're very happy to have such a smart girl here. She's definitely smarter than you. Emily, if anyone tries to bother you, you come and tell me, okay?"
Mr. Howard looked like he was having a fit. When the class ended, he called out to me to stay back.
Oh, no.
Reluctantly, I walked over to his desk, and what he said left me in complete shock.
"I wondered why you looked so familiar. You're the cook's little helper I bumped into. So what? You're here now pretending to be all smart and rich?"
"I'm not pretending. My parents are really wealthy people, and I am smart."
"Why were you dressed like a maid? Was that a disguise? Are you Superman?"
"Oh my god, not that again."
"If you're really rich, answer this. What are the names of all the Kardashians?"
"The what?"
"Ha! I knew it. Every wealthy person knows the answer to that. I know you're just a maid, and I don't like dishonest people, so I don't like you. I'll be watching you."
And he wasn't kidding. From that day on, anywhere I went in school, there he was. It seemed like he was hoping to catch me sweeping floors or something. I realized soon, though, that keeping up the rich act wasn't all that simple. These girls just seemed like they lived on another planet.
"We're going to Paris for Christmas this year."
"That sounds amazing." "We're just having a party on Daddy's yacht."
"Emily, what did you do last Christmas?"
Washed 100 dishes and ate leftovers in my room with my hamster."
My parents invited Lady Gaga over for a private concert."
The girls screamed like hyenas and insisted that they wanted to hear every single detail. One day, they took me to the gym during cheerleading practice.
"Now that you're like the most popular girl in school, you've got to be in the cheerleading team, duh."
Not every popular girl has to be a cheerleader, right? I'm not into this kind of stuff. I like to read books. The girls looked at me like I was an alien from outer space. They pushed me to try out anyway, and I was really bad at it, but the coach just said, "She's so pretty. She can just stand on the side and wave pom-poms. Welcome to the team, Emily." And just like that, I was a cheerleader. As I was walking out, I spotted Mr. Howard in the doorway.
Well, well, being a cheerleader is every maid's dream, isn't it? Wait till everyone finds out about you.
The next day in class, Mr. Howard suddenly dropped a book on my desk, making me jump out of my skin.
Happy birthday, Emily!
How did he know? Thank you, sir?
So, I'm sure a rich, popular girl like you must be having a grand celebration, right?
Everyone's eyes were on us now, and he was looking down at me with a smirk.
Yes, of course! It's so big, I'm still planning it. But it will happen very, very soon.
As all the kids gave me excited smiles, I stared down at my quiz in horror. What had I landed myself into? With everyone asking me about the party, I had to come up with something fast. I had no choice but to go to Mr. and Mrs. Richard. "I'm really sorry, but I need to throw a big birthday party for my friends. I'll make up for it by doing extra chores." I thought they'd be really mad, but Mrs. Richard jumped up excitedly.
"Deal! Now let's throw you the biggest birthday bash this neighborhood has ever seen."
And boy, did she go all out! The theme of the party was teen models, and there was a fashion show runway, makeup stations, and pink outfits for everyone. I was just really excited about the party favors because Mrs. Richard had let me choose those. As the girls tore off the wrapping papers, they suddenly fell silent. "What's wrong?"
Ew, you gave us books?
"Yeah, and not just any books. These are limited editions, signed by J.K. Rowling herself." The girls looked really disappointed. But just then, Mrs. Richard came running in and pushed me aside.
"I know what teen girls want. Diamond bracelets. There, you get one, and you get one. Everyone gets one."
The books were rudely tossed aside, and I nearly went deaf from their high-pitched screams. The next day, everyone was still discussing how amazing my party had been. Just then, Mr. Howard walked in with our assignments and started distributing them. I was horrified to see the big, fat D on mine.
"And you get a D, and you get a D. Everyone gets a D."
"Mr. Howard, my assignment is just fine. And how can we all get Ds?"
"Are you the teacher now? How can your assignments be fine when all of you were busy partying last night?"
"Oh yeah, I saw the Instagram stories. But we submitted these last week."
"That's enough. I'll see you in detention now."
The bad grade and the detention wasn't even the worst part. Everyone in class was mad at me now. Like this is my fault. "Look, Em, we can't be friends with you and fail science. My parents will kill me, so we're sorry, but bye." And they all walked off wearing their flashy diamond bracelets. Ugh, these rich girls were the worst. I couldn't let him bully me and ruin my grades, so I decided to talk to the principal. After he looked at my assignment, he called Mr. Howard into his office. I was looking forward to the principal telling him off, but I was not expecting what came next.
"Mr. Howard, you're fired."
What?
"You heard me. Now please pack your things and leave immediately."
Mr. Howard looked completely stunned, then got up and left quickly. I was horrified. I hadn't meant to get him fired.
"Don't worry, Emily. I'll have the substitute teacher fix everyone's grades."
Later, as I walked down the hallway, I saw Mr. Howard leaving with his belongings. He looked so sad. I'd gotten him fired, but I just felt terrible. I decided to go tell him that I talked to the principal about giving him his job back. Later that evening, I sneaked over to his house and pressed my nose against the window to see him having dinner with his mom and 5 rather scary-looking sisters. "So, Howie, why don't you tell your sisters your amazing news?" He just stared down at his plate silently.
"He got fired, ladies." "What have I done to deserve such a stupid son? Why couldn't you be a lawyer or a doctor or an astronaut like your sisters?"
Oh my God, Howard, it's a pretty easy job. Isn't it bad enough that you're just a teacher, and now you're not even that? Seriously, bro, you're never getting a girlfriend.
Loser!
Oh, by the way, Ma, I got a promotion at work today.
As they all clinked glasses, I saw Mr. Howard leave the table. I could not feel any worse right now, and I kinda understood why he was a bit of a bully. Just then, I heard a voice behind me.
"What are you doing here? It wasn't bad enough to get me fired. Now you want to see my humiliation at home?"
And before I could even say anything, he sat down on the bench and started to cry. "Mr. Howard, I'm really sorry. I never meant to get you fired. I came to tell you that I'll talk to the principal."
"Oh, what's the point? I'm just a dumb teacher. Even you think I'm dumb."
"No, I don't, and your family is wrong. Being a teacher is just as amazing as any other profession. You can make such a difference in so many lives." He gave me a smile.
"You really are quite smart, aren't you? I'm sorry I picked on you for being a maid. You are a maid, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, who cares? You're really going to go places one day, Emily. Oh, also, can I have one of the signed Harry Potter books?
Thankfully, the principal listened to me and decided to reinstate Mr. Howard. Since then, he's become much nicer to everyone, and he's hired me as his personal assistant to do the fact-checking for him. We've become really good friends, and I finally have someone to discuss books with.